J'ai été dans un mouvement
I had been in the Alcoholics Anonymous movement for many years now, but I realized that this was not for me. I believed that it was a complete waste of time, and I wanted to stop drinking, really. I had seen a hypnotherapist before on a TV program, and I immediately phoned the station to obtain the phone number, and I ultimately went for my first session. It was a 3-day, Friday to Sunday session, and it went pretty good, in fact. I talked under hypnosis of things from my past, and after these 3 days, I wasn't feeling the need to drink anymore. Since that time, everything is fine.
Depuis ce temps-là, ça va très bien, très, très, très bien. J'ai pas repris un verre depuis 10 ans. Depuis 10 ans. On m'en a offert beaucoup.
I have been sober for 10 years now. Nobody believed me then. People were constantly offering me drinks. Most of my clients were drinkers. But I always refused because I just no longer had the need nor the craving for alcohol. Oh, I highly recommend hypnosis to all who are really serious about quitting. It's a fantastic method that saves enormous time. In fact, before hypnosis, I was spending so much time that it kept me from working. But now it's all over. I don't need it anymore, and I am working.
J'ai rencontré un hypnologue environ.
I met an hypnotherapist 9 or 10 years ago. Since this first session, I followed treatments to which I'm very satisfied. Since my daughter Julie accidentally passed away, I was in a deep, deep state of depression. I was seeing doctors, and I thought at the time that it was my last hope.
C'était ma dernière porte de sortie que j'ignorais.
It is through my wife Pauline that I was recommended to Mr. Noël DELCOURT. After the first session, I wanted to see him again as fast as possible because I felt a great, great change in my attitude.
J'ai senti tout de suite une amélioration dans mon comportement.
It was a deliverance for me, and I believe that if I wouldn't knock at that door, I would find myself in a psychiatrist's office because I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Je m'en allais en psychiatrie parce que je ne voyais pas la lumière au bout du tunnel. Alors ça a été pour moi quand je retournais en automobile chez moi, j'étais
going home that night, I felt an immediate change in me. It was as if I had dumped all that sorrow and stress that were in me.
C'était comme si j'avais vidé une partie de cette peine-là, de ce stress-là, de cette tourmente qui était insoutenable. Ça a pris en tout 5 traitements sur une période
5 sessions in a six-week period.
6 semaines.
I asked Noël if I could talk about my daughter Julie, about her death, and all the happenings surrounding it without crying.
A parlé de ma fille Julie, de son décès.
We talked for an hour. We discussed everything that was traumatizing me, and I was able to talk about them without crying and without all the torment that I couldn't support before the treatments.
Et sans aucune larme, sans aucune tourmente intérieure que j'avais, que je ne pouvais plus supporter avant des traitements. Ça fait environ
all this happened
10 ans.
10 years ago. I understood things that I hadn't understood before.
Un sauveur,
I learned to know myself. All the recommendations that my hypnotherapist made me have helped me over the years, and I am convinced that they will help me for the rest of my life.
De savoir m'étudier, de me connaître moi-même, alors ça m'a aidé depuis ce temps-là, et je suis convaincu que ça va m'aider pour le restant de mes jours.
I was just talking with Mr. Zekri about how hypnosis can help you with the relief of pain, and more specifically with childbirth. And I have an article here that we see our friend Mr. DELCOURT. I think it's a few years ago, but it's how he helped a woman through her labor. So I'm really interested to know.
What year was that?
I believe this was in 1979.
1979.
So maybe you can tell us a bit about this experience and how that all happened.
Yeah, well, like Mr. Zekri said, we had to do some self-hypnosis techniques in order for her to get prepared for, because there's a long way before the labor starts and the delivery. So we had to have some cues going through these different phases, you know, from maybe the house to the hospital,
okay,
and inside the room. And yes, I think that it would be, I'm not saying that hypnosis has to be used every time for labor, but I suggest it strongly to people that women that are thinking of having maybe a child in the future, so the one that think about
and who might be afraid of the pain involved.
Yeah, to give it a try. Maybe it can be done a year or 2 years before, so that they experience it and they feel comfortable with it. So.
And your patient in this case, how did she find it? Did it help her?
Oh yeah, it helped her a lot. That day was a wonderful day, you know, like I saw the child come out, you know, and the first time I had seen a child come out was mine,
right,
and this was the second time, so it was very, very exciting. The doctor came after a while and he shook my hand and said, you know, like I was really, he didn't use any substance.
Epidurals or
nothing.
No drugs? Okay.
Nothing at all. And she had she had opened a little wider, and they had to
sew her up.
Sew her up, and she didn't feel nothing. You know, like everything was it went very well.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's a great example. And I think also today you want to talk to us a bit about the Therapist Gazette that you have here.
Yeah, well, the Therapist Gazette is a gazette about natural health consultants, you know. What the people in my field call themselves therapists. They can be therapists in many fields. And now we have this little journal coming out every once in a while. And it's made by therapists, and inside there are articles by the people that you've seen so far in the show, in the TV show. They write in there, they talk about hypnosis, they give examples, they give path to the people, you know, tools that they can use for themselves. You know, it's a gazette made by therapists.
And how can you get a copy of it, or do you subscribe to it?
Yeah, the subscription so far is free, but you can grab a copy in different natural food stores around Montreal.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now I'd like for you to note that this show is about hypnosis, which is an integral part of alternative medicine. And it's important for you to know that the College of Doctors do not agree with the free use of these various natural techniques, and that the group My Health, My Rights represents consumers who want to choose freely their medical options. So let's hear what they have to say this week.
Now, one of the most interesting phenomenon that is apparently going right now, not apparently, really going right now, is that we have to pay, starting 1st of January, new tax in terms of Medicare. We have to pay for the insurance, for free or partly free allopathic medicine.